Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It's time for our weekly recap of The Chi. This is season 4, episode 8, and it was titled Love Jones. Alright, y'all, before I jump into this recap review, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit me with that thumbs up button along with the share button. Alright, let's just jump right into it. So, it opens up and we're just like, they're playing this music and stuff, and it's just scenes from like Chicago. So like the real Chicago or whatever like that, real live people, not just the actors and stuff like that. It was real cute. Then we see Emmett. So he's watching Love Jones and he texts somebody. At first I thought he was texting Tiff, but he ended up texting Keisha. And I guess she ain't respond fast enough, so he picked up the phone and called her. She was like, I was about to text you back. Thank you for letting me know that our show was on or whatever. Because he texted and said like our favorite show was on. Our favorite movie is on. So she go turn on her TV and stuff like that. And she was just telling him like, thank you for letting me know because I've been kind of stressed out and this is very welcoming, help me lift my spirits up or whatever like that. And he was like, well, whatever you need, just let me know and stuff. So then here go Emmett. Did you ever think about if Nia and Lorenz got together or nothing like that, because they had some real sex scenes that look. She was like, no, boy, she not good for him. So then he ends up texting Tiff, asking Tiff where she at or whatever. We see Kev, child, he's sweating that girl, the gamer girl, Lene. So he's sweating her hard, child. He calling, so this is Kev, I don't know if you got my first message, but I'm calling with a second message, just to tell you, hey, just in case you didn't get my first. I said, boy, if you don't get off the damn phone, Keisha come in and tell him not to be thirsty. So he like, I ain't being thirsty. She like, And so he gonna say, what did he say? No, she was like, you need to, no, he was like, I just like her. That's what it was. He was like, I'm sorry, y'all. I watched this like at 2 a.m. and now I'm recording it like at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm trying to remember. So he was like, I just like her or whatever. So she was like, yeah, I think you do like her, but you just using her to get your mind off of Gemma and stuff like that. And he was like, no, I mean, yeah, or whatever. So she was like, look, just fall back or whatever. And because girls like dudes to just fall back or something shit like that. And so then here he goes. So my son, would you pick me or would you pick Jake? And so she was like, ew, I can't do that. You my brother. Well, don't think about me as your brother or whatever. She was like, I can't do that. You can't do that because you would pick Jake. She was like, she was like, I'm just saying. He was like, why girls always picking the bad boys or whatever like that. He was like, they mad because I give a fuck, but it ain't my fault I give a fuck or whatever like that. I was just like, Lord have mercy. So then we see Tiff. She calls Emmett. She drunk, child. And she with the dude. I cannot think of his name for the life of me right now. It is driving me crazy. And I couldn't think of it last night either. But she with old dude that she keep bouncing to or whatever, the weed dude. So she drunk. He all being loud in the back. Talking about, yeah, she drunk. I take care of her. He like, that's dude. Bring your ass home, Tiff. Come home, Tiff. He going off and stuff like that. Because Emmett was not really 100% with this open marriage thing. Because he just likes to eat his cake and get it too. He don't want her to eat it either. Get it. He just want her to eat the cake that's at home, not no fresh cake or whatever. So he all upset and stuff. She like, no, I'm just going to stay out tonight. I just want to let you know I'm going to be home tomorrow and stuff. He was like, F y'all, F both y'all or whatever. So then he hangs up the phone. She like, did he just hang up on me? And dude like, well, I be mad at you too because you up here with me basically in the background and stuff like that. Then we see Jake. He's talking to Papa because, Papa cleaning up and stuff like that. Jake standing there talking to him and stuff. And Papa ends up going on Instagram or whatever and seeing Maisha's pics or stuff. She got a whole bunch of likes, a whole bunch of comments. But, of course, in pics when people glow up or whatever like that, people be hating. So she got a lot of negative comments. So he worried that, because he was saying like she act all tough and stuff like that, but she real sensitive. So, I gotta make sure she okay or whatever. So Jake at first was like, because Jake went over there and saw a picture. He was like, damn, she done came up or whatever. He was like, my queen always been a queen or whatever, just because you ain't recognize it or something like that. And so then Jake basically was like, well, if, she feeling bad or whatever, or, the comments may be getting to her, go and check up on her and stuff. Papa was like, damn, man, you done came up or whatever. You need to thank Gemma. She done brought you up already. She making you a better man. So Jake was like, nah, man, she ain't making me no better man. I'm doing all the work. Papa was like, look, you need to get that girl credit where credit's due or whatever. So then we see it's the next day. Well, obviously it's the next day because Papa and Jake was talking, but it's the next day for Tiff and Emmett. So Tiff comes in or whatever. Emmett in the kitchen, child. He cooking the grits. He not frying the eggs. He scrambling the eggs. He got a little cheese up in there. He frying the bacon. It looked like it smelled good up in there. Okay, it looked like Sunday morning, just breakfast all on the damn table. But he was doing it. So he got the burnt toast. He done buttered that up and stuff like that. And she looking like, what's going on? He was like, yeah, I got your breakfast and stuff like that, you can go up there, take you a nice little shower and stuff, and then you come back down. I buttered the toast just the way you like it, and I got the eggs, I put just a little bit of cheese on there, and then I got your coffee, girl, because I know you like your coffee like you like your men. I was like, okay, Emmett. So he was like, well, you could stay out all night, but ain't nobody, what did he say, you can get dick from anybody, but ain't nobody gonna cook your eggs the way I do it and make your coffee just the way you like it or whatever like that. I said, okay, Emmett. He was like, you can get your hair, your perm sweated out. I said, not her perm. You can get your perm sweated out, but only I could do this. So she's just looking like, okay, all right. So then she just go upstairs and, get showered and stuff. I was like, what's going on with Emmett? So then we see Papa. He does go see Maisha and stuff like that. And he called her his queen and stuff. She like, don't call me that. He was like, you always going to be my queen or whatever. So she was saying like all them negative comments. And he was right. Like she was feeling some type of way about the negative comments and stuff. And he was like, you just living your purpose and stuff. And anybody who living like a purposeful life is bound to get a couple rocks thrown at them and stuff. She was like, where you heard that from? He was like, my dad. She was like, well, your dad can say something. I don't always agree with him, but he can say some nice stuff or whatever. Okay. So then he ends up telling Maisha that he misses her, and she says she misses him too, but yet she still need her space and stuff. And he was like, oh, okay, I understand, but if you need me, I'm here or whatever. So it was real cute with them. We see Jake. He's sitting in the living room. Trig come in there, and Trig like, I don't know why you keep customizing this car. You ain't even got no job or whatever. So Jake was like, well, you won't let me get no job because of my grades. He was like, yeah, I wanted you to focus on school and stuff, but it don't look like you doing it because you getting C's and stuff. So he was like, well, how'd you get your first car? Some shit like that. Did you work hard for your first car? Trey was like, no, I stole that shit. I was cracking up. He was like, well, how you want me to work hard for my car, but you are out here stealing yours and stuff? He was like, well, I want you to do better than me. I don't want you to be like me or whatever. So then he was saying like, well, he don't want to stunt. He just want to take Gemma somewhere or whatever like that, impress her or some shit like that. So, or do right by Gemma. So Trig was like, oh, you want to do right by Gemma, but you ain't do right by your boy Kevin or whatever. He was like, I'm always tell you to follow your heart, but don't step on your friends in the process or whatever. So he was like, well, why you and Shad ain't friends no more? He was like, cause he was coming reckless at my wifey Monty. He was like, y'all ain't married. He was like, you know what I'm talking about? He was like, all right, man, well, something like, well, you telling me to do stuff that you ain't even doing yourself. So Trig was like, all right, if you talk to Kev, I'll talk to Shad or whatever. He was like, all right, bet. So they finished their conversation right there. We see Kev, he has Smokies, Emmett is there, and so Emmett asking Kev where Papa at. So he was like, why you want to know? He was like, look, man, I'm having woman's troubles, and I need Papa to talk me off the ledge. I said, you need a tea. Cause how old is Emmett? But Emmett acts so dang immature at times. But now he maturing in season 4. He getting a little better. But he need advice from Papa. So Kev drops the bomb and was like, well, I don't know if you want to get advice from him when his house ain't, all together, whatever. He was like, what? Him and Maisha having issues? He was like, yeah, man. So then Papa come in. He like, why you call me here all early and stuff? Like, it ain't even crowded in here and stuff like that. And he was like, what's this food? He was like, well, this was a little peace offering. A peace offering. I called you here early because I need a little woman advice or whatever like that. He was like, that ain't no incentive. I already eat here for free. I was like, exactly. You could at least give the man a $20 or something. He was like, I'm gonna start charging y'all for my services and stuff. And Emmett was like, don't be trying to charge, and your house ain't all together and stuff. So Papa looked at Kevin like, don't be dropping my business like that or whatever. So Kev, I don't think Emmett had said, I don't remember if Emmett said something or not, but I know Kev had said, well, me and Gemma, I'm trying to get, no, he was like, should I try to get Gemma back? They was both like, no, man, just let that go. That's cracking up. And so then, Kev was like, well, who would you think gonna win in a fight, me or Jake? They was like, no, because Jake ain't fighting to fight you or something like that. And then Emmett was like, well, he got that lineage or something. And so, or somebody said dreads or something like that. And Papa was like, just because he got locks don't mean he's tough or whatever. He was like, no, I'm talking about he come from a family of fighters. That's what I'm talking about. So you just might just count your losses, man. He gonna have you picking your teeth up off the ground pretty much. So then he just left. So then Papa had asked Kev to help him out to get Maisha back or whatever like that. Of course Kev said he was down. So then they at the thrift store. So Keisha at the thrift store and the young man, her co-worker, they talking and stuff like that. And she like and so she said something. He was like, yeah, maybe I did miss you or whatever like that. I said, oh. And so he asked about the baby. She said that she was sleepy and stuff like that. And he started talking about sleep deprivation and stuff. And then he was funny. He was like, yeah, because, sleep deprivation start having you hallucinating and stuff. And she was like, I feel like I'm hallucinating now. And he was like, no, this is real. This ain't a dream and stuff like that. You just gave birth, something. Then he was like, and then you madly in love with me. She was like, now I don't know about that madly in love with you part. Something like that. And so she was like, the only person I'm madly in love with is my son. And so then he asked her out. He was like, well, it looked like you need a couple hours of break or whatever like that. She was like, what you trying to say? He was like, I'm just saying you look like you need a break or whatever. You beautiful, but you look like you need a break. So can I take you out for a couple hours and stuff? So she was thinking about it. And then she was like, well, I don't need no man to save me and stuff. And he was like, look, I'm not trying to save you. I just like you or whatever. And I really just want to take you out on a date. So she was like, all right, I'll think about it or whatever. So then Kev, he at Maisha's house at I guess the back door from the alleyway or something like that, because when Papa came over, it was a different door. Excuse me. So she opened up the door. He was like, hi, Maisha. She was like, hi, boy. I was like, not boy. So she was like, what Papa sent you over here for? He was like, he ain't sent me over here. She was like, I dated you once. I could tell when you lying. He was like, all right, yeah, I'm lying. Yeah, Papa sent me over here, but I did want to talk to you or whatever. So she like, all right, come in. So she comes in and stuff, or he came in and she gave him some water and stuff. They sitting at the little kitchen. And so he was just telling her, like, when they broke up, like, you came up and stuff like that. I'm real proud of you and stuff. And she was like, well, I've been the shit. Like, it's about time people recognize and stuff. And then she was telling him, like, because of her, he stepped his game up. He got a little flyer or whatever. So then she was saying, like, how she's been getting love and stuff, but she's also getting the negative comments and stuff like that. And he was basically telling her, like, look at all the positive comments versus the negative ones. Because you only going to have about 98% of the comments is going to be positive. And about 2% is going to be negative. So don't look at those negative comments. Stay focused on the positive comments. So she was like, yeah, that's true. All right. And then she was saying, like, her friends been acting different. Like, her friends, because she used to be, like, the sidekick and stuff like that. Maisha been cute or whatever, but as soon as somebody recognizing other people outside of that circle or whatever, recognizing that she fly and stuff, her friends started acting brand new and whatever like that. Now, if it was her true friends, they'd have just supported her and had her back and stuff. But she said they acting real like funny and stuff. So she feeling some type of way. But you know, Kev try to talk her off the ledge and stuff. The ledge. I cannot talk today, y'all. Trying to talk her off the ledge and stuff like that. And then she was like, all right, so what you come over here for? What Papa sends you over here for? He was like, look, I just need you to pull up to this party. She was like, I think about it. And so he was like, all right, just be there or whatever. So then she told him, like, look, I'm not trying to shadow Papa or anything like that, but I'm also not going to downplay what I'm becoming. He was like, I understand that and stuff. I said, these kids be so damn grown. These kids. We see Trig, he had Smokies, he ordering some food and stuff like that. Emmett, you know, he tried to pay Emmett. Emmett ain't really want his money, talking about something, you don't gotta pay here. He was like, look, man, I'm trying to support black owned business, take this cash. So Emmett, of course, takes the money and whatever like that. So they start talking, and Emmett says he's trying to be the best man that he could be and stuff like that. And he tells him about Tiff and their open relationship and stuff like that. And Emmett basically is like, I made like the best breakfast on the planet. And, you know, I'm just trying to step my game up because she looking at this dude and he got money and he got all this stuff and I can't really compete with him. And Trig was like, man, F that. You know what she like you know her heart or whatever like that. He can't ever compete in that way or whatever. So Emmett was like, okay. Next we see the Keisha's coworker. I don't remember his name, y'all. I cannot remember his name. Please forgive me with these names. Y'all know I can see their faces. I'm good with faces. I am not good with names. But the dude, he chatting with this girl in the thrift store. Keisha, of course, peeping in, and she like, she analyzing and overthinking it and stuff like that. But instead of just keeping it in, she did go over there and asked him, like, who that? And so he was like, oh, that's my homie. And she was like, oh, okay, well, y'all was talking a lot. He was like, yeah, that's my homie. I know her from, like, grade school or whatever. She was like, oh, okay. She was like, did y'all date and stuff? He was like, yeah, we had, like, a couple dates. She was like, oh, okay, well, that's more than homies. He was like, before 18 don't count. So she was like, well, my high school sweetheart, he still be hitting me up. He was like, did y'all smash? And she was like, you know what? So then he was just like, look, just trust me or whatever. He not trying to hurt her and stuff. So then she did apologize for, you know, accusing him of something that he didn't do. He was like, oh, don't worry about it or whatever like that. If I was you, I wouldn't trust anyone either. So Kev, he all up in Gemma's face as she came out of some store or some child. He all up in her face about, oh, I love you. I just want to let you know I love you, Gemma. I said, Kev, like, boy, get yourself together. But that's his first love, and child, we all been there, okay? But he was like, I know you with Jake, but I won't stop fighting for you. And she was like, but that's harassment. And he was like, huh? She was like, that's harassment. When dudes always say that they want to keep fighting and stuff like that for women and stuff, like, that's just harassment. Like, that's not cute and stuff like that. And we don't like that. I was like, well, some women do. Some women do. She was like, I have the right to leave you or whatever. And he was like, no, she was like, I always love you. He was like, no, she was like, I always love you. You are my first love. But that doesn't mean that you're my forever love or whatever. And he was like, you still love me? And she was like, yeah, I just said that or whatever. So he was like, well, come to this party. She was like, I don't know about that. And so he was like, well, you can bring Jake or something like that. She was like, well, I am not an accessory or some shit. I was just like, child, she gets on my nerves. I swear she do. We see Tiff. She in the living room. She doing yoga. It's a knock at the door. She goes to the door. It's Emmett. So she was like, well, why you ain't use your key or whatever like that? So, child, he got on his Love Jones outfit and stuff. I said, Lord, he is really trying it. He is really trying it. So he was like, I got that CD that you ordered. It came in. She was like, what? At first, she didn't get it. So he was like, the Isley brothers. She was like, oh my God, is we acting out Love Jones? Okay. so you try and take me on a date? I was cracking up. It was real cute. And he said that he was, he got her number and stuff. He played out the scene from Love Jones or whatever. We see Kevin. Not Kevin. Keisha. She at her house with the baby on her arm and stuff like that. And she's scrolling through the co-workers' Facebook and stuff. And she's seeing like family pictures of him with his family and stuff, and other pictures with his friends and stuff like that. So she ends up calling him. Child, he answered on the first ring. She like, dang, let it ring a little bit. He was like, look, I ain't got time to be playing no games. Okay, ain't nobody waiting. So they talk and stuff like that. And then he invites her out on a date, and she says yes, she'll go on a real date and stuff. We see Kevin and Papa, they thrift store shopping and just buying different stuff for the party and stuff like that. And then Kev was telling Papa what Gemma said about harassment and stuff. So Papa was like, so am I making a wrong move with Maisha? And should I not be throwing this party? He was like, man, just throw the party and let her be happy and stuff like that. So, Tiff and Emmett, they got their little outfits on, Love Jones and stuff. She got her little Nina wig and stuff. It was real cute. She was like, where's your motorcycle? He was like, I can't afford no motorcycle, girl. Get in this car. So, they get in the car and go for that date. Keisha and the co-worker, he came to pick her up on his moped. Of course, she was kind of scared about it and stuff like that. But then she ends up getting on a moped and they just driving through Chicago. They at a record store. He put some music on because they don't really have a lot of record stores and stuff like that. Because back in the day, you could go to like a CD store. I can't even think of a name of one where you could buy CDs, tapes, or records and stuff like that, and you could listen to a sample of the album before you brought it and stuff like that. So, what was one? I can't think of it. I think one started with a V. You don't see a lot of them these days because everything is basically streaming. But he put an album on the thing and she was listening to it. He was saying like, I love this song. It reminds me of you and stuff like that. So she was like, oh, okay, I like this. And then she picked up a record and then they started talking about how the moms would be blasting music early in the morning to clean up and stuff. He was like, yeah, why they be so loud? She was like, every time I heard Anita Baker, I knew that old rusty vacuum was finna come out and stuff. So they had a good little moment there. She was like, why do I always feel like when I'm talking to you, I'm in a romantic com or something, a rom-com or something like that. He was like, well, I'm just treating you the way you need to be treated or something like that. So the party for Maisha, child, this a long line outside. She go in, he got the fog on, because he done brought the fog blower. And she like, dang, you can't even see each other. He was like, I went a little too far with the fog. And she was like, yes, you did. Cut it back a little bit. So she was like, well, why the people outside? He was like, well, I wanted you to come in first and then bring everybody in. She was like, well, you should have had the people in here so the party was getting started and then I walk in. He was like, see, that's why I need you in my life because Cab don't know nothing. She was like, just bring the people in. So they had a comedy club, Emmett and Tiff. So she was like, can we do Love and Basketball next or whatever? He was like, mm-hmm. So the comedian get up there, he do his little spiel talking about some the women, why couples come to the comedy club because he be making women wet and they be thinking about him. And then he went to Tiff and Emmett and he basically was trying to ask Tiff to come back in the back with him, talking about or how long y'all been together and stuff. He was like, this is my wife. He was like, well, how long y'all been married? He was like, 11 months. He was like, oh man, I hope y'all make it because I've been married 3 times and I ain't make it to a year because she stopped fucking me. She wanted to fuck other dudes and stuff and I had to fuck myself. I said, he not even funny. Like, he was not funny. Anyway, the party popping and stuff. And so they having a good ass time at the party or whatever like that. Papa was dancing with Maisha. Then he saw Kevin over there looking all sad and pitiful. Kevin, of course, was thinking like, Gemma was going to come or whatever because Papa ended up going over there to talk to him. And so when Papa went over there to talk to Kev, he turned back around and Kev was like, well, who that dancing with Maisha? Papa was like, I don't know, but I'm finna find out. And Maisha was just getting it, child, just getting it. So he go over there to try to introduce. He was like, I'm gonna introduce myself. He was like, you over there dancing with my lady? And Maisha was like, I am not your lady no more, okay? So he was like, but And she was like, is this party for me? He was like, yeah, it's for you. She was like, all right, well, let me enjoy this party or whatever like that. And so she went back to dancing with dude, and Papa was looking like, he was looking so sad. I didn't want to laugh, but I said, like, what did you expect? You expected that you was going to throw a party for her, and she was going to be like, oh, my Papa, you my boo thing. No, she said she needed her space. So then he go over there and sit with sad-ass Kevin. So, Gemma ends up coming into the party. Kev got so happy, cheese, like gums were showing and everything, child. And then Jake came in behind him. So then he looking like, so then of course he want to make Gemma jealous. So he go find some rando cute girl and start dancing with the girl. So then co-worker and Keisha, they this poetry jam. And the poet is saying some stuff that really hit home to Keisha. So then she got up and ran out. She had like a little anxiety attack. Co-worker come out, making sure she okay, asking her like, you okay, something wrong, whatever like that, what can I do? She was like, nothing, I just need to breathe. So then he asked permission, could he hug her? And she said yes. So then he ends up hugging her and said he was going to take her home. I said, oh. So then Maisha, she chilling over there with the new dude, and Papa looking all sad. Kevin still dancing with the new girl. Gemma steady watching Kevin dance with the new girl. I said, now you getting jealous that he was somebody else. So you want your cake and you want to eat it too. I mean, yes, I understand. I never understood that saying, even though I keep using it, because like, of course I want my cake and I'm gonna eat it too. Like, who gets a cake and don't eat it? Like, that's a waste of cake. But anyway, she want Kev and Jake, and she don't want Kev to move on with nobody, but you to moved on with his best friend. Like, girl, bye. So, Jake like, why you over there looking? I ain't looking over there. I ain't looking over there. He was like, all right, whatever. So then he tried to dance, but the whole time she like, I said, girl, oh, she annoys me. Keisha at the co-worker's house and stuff like that, they just listening to music, dancing. It was real cute. Tiff and Emmett, they dancing at some like outside festival or something like that. She thanks him for the night. She was like, this night was beautiful. He was like, oh, it's not over yet. So she was like, oh, okay. We see Jake, he pretty much over Gemma, because he like, you want something to eat? So she was like, no. So he go over there. Maisha goes over to her and was like, I always knew you wasn't shit. She was like, huh? She was like, you got these two men over here fighting over you. You got these best friends and stuff. You need to make a choice or whatever. She was like, I think I did make a decision. She was like, all right, So then we see Papa, he up on stage. He gives a speech about, Maisha being the greatest queen alive and stuff like that. And, she need to come up here and get her flowers and stuff. It was real cute. Because he made like this little thing for her. It was cute. It was really cute. Keisha going through something, you can see it in her face, but she's just trying to have a good time with dude. So she picks up his camera. First she was like going through his stuff or whatever, or I'm not really going through his stuff, but like looking at, stuff in his apartment. Then she picks up this camera. He like, no, I don't really like pictures. She was like, come on, I'll make you look good. So she was just like clicking pictures and stuff like that. And at first he was kind of shy, but then he got up and started posing and stuff. It was really cute. Maisha thanks Papa for the party and stuff like that. And he was telling her like, you need to celebrate. No, she was saying like she needs to celebrate herself more often, because even though she looks confident on the outside, she don't always feel that way. So he was like, well, how can I help you feel that way? Because, I see you that way or whatever. And she was like, but you can't fix everything. And he was like, well, he would seem like he was kind of upset that he couldn't fix everything or whatever. And she was just like, that's just life, Papa. Like, it's okay. Like, you can't fix this or whatever. So he was just like, all right. She was like, you just got to learn how to not want to always fix stuff. Like, it's okay. We see Gemma. So Kev was sitting down. He finally finished dancing with old girl. Gemma goes over there to Kev and was just like, well, we's your girlfriend or some shit like that. He was like, oh, that ain't my girlfriend. That's just some random chick. And so he was like, was you jealous? And she was like, he said something like, was you jealous? And he said something like he was jealous, and then she said she was jealous of seeing them vice versa with two different people. So he was jealous of seeing her with Jake, and then she was jealous to see him with some random girl. So she apologizes to Kevin for dating Jake, which she should have. because they been should have did all that or whatever. Oh, and also Jake had ended up apologizing to Kevin too while he was like dancing or something. No, while what's her name? Maisha was getting her flowers. Jake was apologizing to Kevin. And Kevin ended up telling Jake, like, look, I just want you to keep her happy or whatever like that. I just want her to be happy. So don't do her wrong or whatever like that. And he was like, he won't. So, what else? What was I saying? Oh, because I had skipped that part, y'all. I'm sorry. So then so then Kevin ends up telling Gemma that, you know, I just want you to be happy and I want the best for you or whatever like that. And he was like, don't be, when y'all break up, don't be crawling back to me because I won't be available. And she was like, I know you won't be available or something. No, she was like, don't be crawling back to me because I won't be waiting. And she was like, well, I know you won't be waiting alone or some shit like that. And so he just smiled and kind of like walked away or whatever. I said, child, if Gemma don't go somewhere, I'm tired of her. I'm so tired of Gemma. It's pouring out raining. We see Keisha and old dude, he dropping her off at her house. And then they did like this little kiss in the rain. Anyway, we see Emmett. So Emmett and Tiffany, they finishing up their night. And she like, boy, why is we walking? He was like, you don't remember this spot? She was like, what? He was like, this is the spot where I, you know, hollered at you at or whatever. She was like, oh, yeah. But it was hot back then. Why are we out here? Child, he gets down on his knees. She like, girl, he was, not girl. She was like, boy, get up. We already married. He was like, yeah, I know, but I wanted to upgrade your ring or whatever. So he was saying like he know he fucked up and all this other stuff, but he want to spend the rest of his life with her and he don't want the relationship to be open no more. By this time, he had got up off his knee. He don't want the relationship to be open no more. Tiff like, but I'm happy with the new arrangement and stuff. He was like, yeah, but when I'm with these other women, all I could think about is you. Like, all I want to be with is you by yourself and stuff. Tiff basically don't want to stop because she enjoys having sex with dudes. She enjoys being free. She enjoys it. And then she says she don't want to worry that Emmett is going to cheat on her. And so he says, well, I'm not going to cheat on you. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm thinking about you all the time. I just want to spend the rest of my life with you. Yada, yada, yada. And she was like, look, you got the worst timing. Like, life is not a movie. Like, this is not a movie. This is real life or whatever. And so then he was like, well, if we keeping this relationship open, then I want to break up or whatever. I'm not going to last or whatever. And she was like, are you serious? And then he closed the ring box, child. And that was the end of the episode. I said, yeah, Emmett done grew up because old Emmett would have kept on out here just doing what he wanted to do. But you know, when you get permission to do something, it ain't as interesting or fascinating anymore. And then your ass don't want to do it. But the other person already enjoying their fun. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. If y'all enjoyed it. It was basically about love and little relationships and stuff like that. I want to get back to Dre and Nina, because I want to see what's going to happen between them two, child. Because, child. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode down there in them comments. If you ended up liking this recap review, I know it was kind of all over the place. Like I said, I watched this thing at like 2 a.m, and then I went to sleep and woke up and was like, all right, let me do this review. But if y'all ended up liking it, go ahead and hit me with that thumbs up button. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.